everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. If you are a fleet manager or a fleet service provider, you already know how real the risks of theft and hijacking are. It's not just about the financial losses when a vehicle disappears, it's also about the safety of drivers and the pressure that such threats put on businesses trying to operate every day. In this webinar, we're going to look at how technology and smart fleet management can help you and your clients protect against theft and recover vehicles efficiently. So let's meet our panelists. First up, we have Mine, who is the business director at NatureLink. We also have Ivan, our product specialist here at 3Dtracking. And then later in the session, we'll hear from Graham, the Managing Director at Access FMS, who will share a real-world use case. We'll start today's discussion with a look at the scale of the problem. Mine will then take us through the innovative device NatureLink has developed before Ivan explains how 3Dtracking's platform equips users to strengthen both theft prevention and recovery strategies. Next, we'll hear feedback from Graham on the practical impact of the device and platform's joint solution. Please do jot down your questions as we go because there will be a chance to ask our panelists at the end. We've also got a giveaway for those who stay with us till the end. To give some context to the challenge, the South African Police Services reported around 40,000 vehicles stolen last year alone. Meanwhile, according to the Mexican Association of Insurance Institutions, the vehicle recovery rate in Mexico was at 41.1% in 1 year. In Nigeria, a few years ago, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics reported that the cost of unrecovered stolen vehicles amounted to 1.8 Nigerian naira billion in losses to owners. Here's a question for you. What's the most stolen vehicle in South Africa? Can anyone guess? As some of you might have correctly assumed, the answer is the Toyota Hilux. Now, to introduce how to prevent vehicle theft and improve recovery, over to you, Mine.
Hello, Amy. Thank you very much. Hello, Evan. Hello, Grant. Nice to meet you here. Hello, everyone. This is Mai Chen speaking from NatureLink, Business Director for Global Market. It's my great honor to be here today to discuss preventing vehicle theft and fast-checking recovery with 3Dtracking team and our partner, Grant, from South Africa. Next, please allow me to give you a brief introduction to our company and what we offer. So NatureLink is a leading hardware manufacturer and solution provider for commercial vehicles located in Shenzhen, China. Our ID team has more than 10 years experience for vehicle telematics and AI video telematics industry. We are supplying products including 4G tracking device, AI mobile DVR, AI dashcam, and also we can offer different cameras and accessories for fleet management. Our products have been exported to more than 80 countries and deployed to more than 1,000 projects in various sectors like logistics, public transportation, oil and gas, construction, and mining. Our factory can manufacture 50,000 devices on a monthly basis with strict quality control. So next, for today's webinar, I'd like to introduce an innovative system which will make a big difference. It will be a game changer to this market. Next, please. So for this product, after huge efforts, NatureLink developed a new 4G product, NL05, which supports below amazing features for vehicle theft prevention and fast recovery. And I would like to say it's working amazingly well on 3Dtracking platform. So this device, it supports vehicle theft alerts, GSM jamming detection, hijacking detection, and it can provide device tripping alerts. What's more, it will allow to connect with Bluetooth tag for driver identification. And more importantly, it will be able to connect with the wireless Bluetooth relay for switching of the ignition automatically for different scenarios. So let me explain later how it works one by one. Next, let's see what the whole system includes. So as you can see from this page, it has a few items. Firstly, the Bluetooth relay. It will be able to switch the ignition off automatically from different scenarios. Later, I will explain some scenarios. Secondly, the buzzer will be used for triggering the alarm when the device detects GSM jamming, for example. So for a small black panic button, it will be installed on a hidden place for the driver to press for emergency event. More importantly, it is a confirmation button for the driver identification. So whenever the driver gets in the car and ready to drive, he has to press the button first to confirm he's the legitimate driver. And the device also comes with a very thin GPS antenna for receiving good signal in a hidden place. And the Bluetooth tag will be attached to the driver key, and it can trigger vehicle safe alert if the Bluetooth tag is not detected for a long while. So the installation process for the whole system must be handled by trained technician for safety and reliability consideration. Next, let me highlight some of the wonderful features for the hardware side for this product. Firstly, the device has LDR, light dependent resistor. So it will send a temporary alert to the server if someone removes the device. It is a wonderful feature, isn't it? Secondly, as I mentioned earlier, the device will use a very thin antenna, which is easy for hiding, and it will allow the tracking device to be installed even under the vehicle carpet. So the criminal will find it very difficult to find the device. Even the criminal finds the device, he cannot find the relay because the relay and the tracking device will be installed separately. And thirdly, the device will allow us to insert 2 SIM cards for saving data consumption for roaming. Lastly, this product has different inputs to detect the ignition, door sensor, and it has built G sensor for detect driver behaviors. So next, I would like to explain how the system prevent vehicle theft. Next page, please. So let's start with the driver. So the driver will have panic button and Bluetooth tag for identification. The panic button, as I mentioned earlier, it will be a very small black button, and it can trigger different events by pressing different modes. So if the driver press for a long one second, it will send a call me event to the server with current speed and also to authorize phone numbers. If the driver presses twice in quick succession, it will send a panic event to the server as well. And as I said, this button is very important. Whenever the driver gets in the vehicle, he needs to press the button. So it will be used for confirmation button, saying that this is the legitimate driver. But also, if there's any false alert like jamming or hijacking, as soon as the driver press the button, the alert will be canceled. Now let's talk about the Bluetooth tag. This Bluetooth tag we can provide white and black colors. It's very small, and it will be attached the driver kit. It has a 8 months standby battery life. It has a replaceable button battery, which you can find easily in any local market. And the transmission range between the tag and the tracking device up to 15 meters. So it's a very important item for detecting vehicle theft. Let me explain how the system works for the vehicle theft alert. Next, please. So let me give you a scenario. If the driver already passed the vehicle outside and the driver entered to the office or shopping mall, and right now, at this moment, a criminal approaches the vehicle, and somehow he has the skill to break the vehicle door and try to get the ignition on and try to drive the vehicle away. So how our system can detect the whole process? Firstly, our device will detect vehicle ignition is on, and the speed is about 10 kilometers per hour for more than 5 seconds continuously. At the same time, the iBeacon is not detected. So a vehicle safe alert will be triggered and sent to the authorized phone numbers to the driver as well as to the control center immediately. So at this moment, we can take active measures. We can just send the GPS command from 3Dtracking platform to switch the ignition off immediately. So after that, the vehicle will be not stolen by the criminal. So this is how our vehicle safe alert work. Okay, so after introducing the vehicle safe alert, I'd like to introduce next amazing alert. Next, please. This is the GSM jamming detection. So as we all know that in South Africa and also other countries like Mexico, many criminals know how to use jammer to try to jamming the signal of the tracking device, because the criminals are very smart. They know the vehicle, especially the hijack, will be installed some tracking device. So the criminal will use the jammer to try to interfere the signal of the tracking device. But we have solution. As soon as our device detects the jamming signal for continuously 30 seconds, firstly, it will send an alert immediately to the server and authorized phone numbers. So if the jamming continuously without stopping, a buzzer which will be installed inside the vehicle will keep beeping for 20 times every 30 seconds. It is trying to scare the criminal away because it will tell the driver we have something in place. But if the jamming still continues and button is not pressed by the driver for 2 minutes, another 2 minutes, the field circuit will be cut off by the wireless Bluetooth relay. So in this scenario, the vehicle will not be stolen because we have this amazing system in place for detecting jamming and switching the ignition off automatically. Okay, so this is another very good alert for a vehicle safe prevention. Another alert I would like to introduce in next page is the hijacking. So, you know, in South Africa, we often heard the news that there is some hijacking event under industry. So, for example, if a driver is already driving at a traffic light or stop street, and a criminal approaches him and forcing him out of the vehicle, so our system will be able to detect firstly the ignition is already on, and the door is open suddenly, and the speed is increased about 10 kilometers per hour for more than 5 seconds. Because at this time, we know that the criminal already driving the vehicle away. But no worries, if there is no button pressing from digital input to within 30 seconds, the buzzer will sound 10 times. And the event called hijack warning will be sent to the server. And here will come a second timer. So after 60 seconds or the second timer, if there is still no signal from the digital input to, then a hijack alert will be sent to the server. So after hijacking alert sent to the server, the vehicle will be also switched off by the Bluetooth relay. So we already tested this feature in South Africa. It's working perfectly, and it can prevent the hijacking 100%. So for this solution, we would like to say that it can prevent hijacking in many countries as well. Okay, so now I would like to say that with all these alerts and wonderful features, our product and solution will serve as a peace of mind for some fleet owners, especially for the highly stolen vehicle types, hijacks. Okay, so another alert I would like to mention finally is the device stripping alert. As you know that the criminal, many are very intelligent. They will try to find where the device is installed. So let's say if the tracking device is found finally by the criminal, and the criminal removes the device, and then the device will send a temper alert because it has built-in light sensor. And secondly, after removing the device, the relay will detect, and the relay will switch the ignition automatically as well. From the server, you will receive strip detection alert as well. So this is another addition add-on for the whole security system for our product and solution. So all in all, I would like everyone to try if you have some requirement for this product and solution. And next, I would like to hand over the time to our partner, 3Dtracking, Ivan, to introduce the platform. Thank you.
You're muted, Ivan.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Mine, and thank you, Amy, for the kind introduction. Good day, everyone. My name is Ivan Mzuli. I'm product specialist here at 3Dtracking. By way of background, 3Dtracking is proud to be celebrating 20 years in the telematics industry this year. We are, of course, a global fleet management solutions platform operating in more than 150 countries and processing over 450 million records a day. At 3Dtracking, our aim is to empower our partners to grow, and we do this through our personalized support and device-agnostic, easy-to-use white label platform. Today, we look forward to demonstrating how the new NatureLink NL05, working seamlessly with our platform, can contribute to stronger vehicle theft prevention strategies. In this demo, I'll show you how our platform detects the device events mentioned by Mine right at the moment when they happen and provide a reliable GPS fix that can immediately give operators and recovery teams precise information. But before we dive into today's main topics, let me give you a quick tour of our platform. I am going to share my screen, and as you can see, the 3Dtracking platform is built to be intuitive and easy to navigate. It gives fleet operators a complete set of tools to manage, monitor, and optimize their fleets all in one place. Let's start on the tracking tab. This is where most fleet operators will spend their time. Here you'll see the live tracking map or the live map showing the exact real-time location of all your vehicles. Each vehicle will show the unit card, and in the unit card, you will see all the active sensors and active inputs, including information like location, odometer reading, and engine hours. It's a really powerful way to really see what's going on in your vehicle at the exact moment. By clicking on the vehicle, you can see a list of all the today's trips for this particular vehicle. And as you can see, this particular vehicle had a single, or rather 3 trips today. And of course, if you want to drill down into the trip and see exactly every point of this vehicle's trip and the corresponding playback down here on the playback menu, you can see an exact blow-by-blow account of where this vehicle was and what speed it was moving at every point. Also present in this trip drill down are all the sensor variables or sensor details coming in at every point. So this is really a powerful way for fleet managers who are trying to drill down to every trip and get as much detail as they can. So when you imagine, this will include things like your fuel sensors or temperature sensors, all of it giving detailed in a blow-by-blow account on the trip. Next, let's go to our admin tab. Now, the admin tab is essentially the control center, or where you'd go and manage your fleet. Here you can go and manage and create users. You can assign users to or drivers to specific vehicles, and you can handle fleet records such as fuel logs and consumables all in one place. So in short, the admin tab makes managing your fleet simple and seamless and gives fleet owners full visibility and control over their fleet operations. Next, let's look at the dashboard tab. This is where your data comes to life, right? The dashboard gives fleet operators a graphical view of all the key metrics in their fleet, from productivity and performance to all the way to activity summaries. The best part about the dashboard is that it's fully customizable. So you can go in here and determine what kind of data you want to see on the charts, as well as which vehicles you'd like to see these charts displaying. So this is a very powerful tool for fleet owners that do not have the time to be looking at the live tracking page the entire day. You can just have these graphical charts showing you all the key metrics so you can respond immediately if there are incidents. Next, let's go into our reports. 3Dtracking offers a really wide variety of reports covering activity, productivity, and security. These reports give you actionable insight into your fleet's performance, helping you make data-driven decisions quickly and effortlessly. Let's have a look at an example report. Here we have an input report. This is the report you'd use to generate some data relating to some of the events that mine was talking about. I've got an example here of an input report. And in here, you can see when a specific input was triggered. For example, the iBeacon not detected. In the report, you can see at every point when this alert was triggered and the details relating to position, date, and time, and the duration that this alert or this event was triggered. With every point in this report, you can click and see the exact point where the event triggered. So as you can see here, there was a hijacking alarm, and directly from the report, you can actually click and view where this happened. So a really effective way to not only show the data, but give you a graphical representation of where all the action happened. So that's one of our many list of reports. Next, let's look at alerts. Now, alerts help you stay informed and respond quickly to what's happening to your fleet. We offer, again, a wide variety of alerts. From basic movement to stop alerts to advanced security alerts that are related to some of the inputs that mine and myself will be showing you in the later part of the demo, right? So in the alerts, you can set up an immediate alert to be triggered as soon as an event is received on the platform. One of the most popular alerts we have is what is called the compound alert. I'll show you that in a short while when I break down some of the scenarios. Let's jump actually into the first scenario that I'd like to show you. And here we have, again, an intersection. And as we know, anyone who's been a victim of crime or who reads any news around where most hijacking events happen, they usually happen at stop signs or intersections. So in this example, say a vehicle was at the intersection and criminals, of course, forced the driver out of the vehicle and proceeded to drive away with the vehicle. Unbeknown to them, this driver has what we call this Bluetooth beacon that mine mentioned a short while ago in their pocket. And because of that, if the vehicle is driven for a short distance that you can define, the device immediately detects that the Bluetooth beacon is not in the vehicle. And immediately what's triggered is what's called the iBeacon not detected alert. This trigger happens just a short distance after the vehicle has been taken. And a couple of things can happen here. Again, all our alerts, or rather one of our alerts, the compound alert, can be configured to immediately send a command to the device to switch off the vehicle. But of course, sometimes it could be the user who perhaps left the tag, or there can be many scenarios where that tag perhaps is still in the vehicle or there was an error in the alert. And of course, like mine mentioned, you can cancel this out by pressing the acknowledge button. But say this was an actual hijack event, vehicle taken at the intersection and then driven off while the tag is not present, then the alert will immediately trigger. So that's the first scenario. Already by this happening, you are getting a really good head start on recovering that vehicle, because in a very short distance, the first alert goes off and the recovery teams, or at least the dispatch teams, can start working at finding out if this is a real or false alert, speeding up the time of recovery. The next scenario I'd like to show you again happens at an intersection. But here, the process starts at this little intersection here. Vehicle is stopped, and say driver of the vehicle is forced out of the vehicle. A short distance after that, as we mentioned, the device is configured to where the driver has to acknowledge that they are the right driver of the vehicle, or that they are the correct driver of the vehicle. And how you do that is by pressing the acknowledge button. So vehicle is taken at the intersection and driven down the road, but of course, the device is waiting for the driver to acknowledge that they are the rightful owner of the vehicle. When this does not happen, the first alert goes off, and this is called the hijack pre-warning alert. This hijack pre-warning alert essentially goes to the control room staff, and they can immediately call the driver to find out if this is a false alarm or not. In most cases, for a lot of us, we might have received calls where you perhaps drove off and you did not acknowledge that you are the rightful driver. So this pre-warning alert gives us at least a bit of time to be able to make out whether this is a real hijacking event or a false alarm. If the vehicle continues to be driven off and there is no acknowledgement again for a said amount of time and distance, we then get the full-on hijack alarm. And this hijack alarm, of course, can now be configured, or hijack alert can now be configured to have things such as the automated command, which will immediately send a command to the device to cut off the engine. Right? So those are the two scenarios, and some that mine mentioned, like where your vehicle is parked at a mall, for example, and a driver or a hijacker steals the vehicle and drives off with it without acknowledging or without the presence of the Bluetooth sensor. You can immediately send a command to the device to switch it off. We have also what's called on our platform virtual geofence. I saw one of the questions inside the chat was about what would happen if someone tows the vehicle while the ignition is off. On our platform, we have something called virtual geofence. And what this essentially does is create a virtual boundary around the vehicle. So if the vehicle moves out of that boundary and reports 2 consecutive points, an alert can be triggered. So in combination, these scenarios give you a full-on set of tools that you can use to ensure that, firstly, recovery teams can act on hijack events very quickly. And secondly, if there is a hijack event, you can send that critical command to cut off the engine at the time when the acknowledgements are not made. Let's have a look at what this compound alert looks like. This is, of course, one of our most powerful alerts. And how it's configured is you first select, of course, the vehicle that you'd like to have the alert configured for. And then we have what's called the criteria. You can have multiple criteria set up on this alert, including things like speed above, meaning if the vehicle is above a certain speed, or speed range would give you a set of speed ranges that the vehicle must fall within. For this example, I've created a criteria called hijack alarm. So what I'm simply saying here is, as soon as this vehicle sends a hijack alarm and the speed is above 10 kilometers or more for 0 seconds, then the platform must immediately send what is called an automated command to cut off the engine, right? So what happens here is that as soon as this scenario happens that I showed you earlier over here, where we get this hijack alarm, the platform will immediately pick that up and see that this vehicle is being driven and a hijack alarm is active, send an automated one to the device to switch off the engine. Essentially, as soon as the vehicle is the next stop, the relay will, of course, cut off fuel to the device, or rather fuel to the vehicle, and the vehicle will come to a grinding halt. All these are just really impressive tools that I guess you could use if you are dealing with vehicle recovery. And another very important part of our alerts is that we support webhooks. So not only do response teams have to go through alert in, which I'll show you in a moment, they can, if they outsource the recovery of vehicles to a third party, all our alerts can be routed from our platform into the third party recovery company's platform through webhooks. And this, of course, allows the seamless recovery of vehicles without too many intermediaries. Let's have a look at one more thing that I'd like to show you here, and that is our alert inbox. Now, every alert that is sent from the devices is sent to what we call the alert inbox. As you can see, we've had a couple of alerts coming in as we were testing and trialing the device. Here on the alert inbox, you'll see the alert name, the type of alert, and of course, when it happened. Let's click on one of these alerts so you can see what is in it. Again, you'll see that it was an input alert, and the particular input that was triggered was a hijack alarm for this particular vehicle. You also did with the date and time and the location when this alert was triggered, as well as a link to the actual location that you can click on so it can show you the exact point in the map when this alert was triggered. At the bottom of this alert, we have what's called the action list. And the action list is a custom form that your recovery teams or your back office teams can create in order to be able to have a formalized way to record all the events or actions taken after an alert has been triggered. As you can imagine, sometimes recovery teams do get false alerts, but we do need to act on each alert to make sure that a process has been followed. So in this example, I've created an action list with a couple of entries such as date and time, the vehicle ID, and of course, more importantly, the immediate action steps that were taken. This is fully customizable, and your recovery teams can create any form they like with as many entries in order to be able to capture this valuable data for audit purposes. So this is just one of the tools in combination with the alerts that can be used in order to have a very easy and accessible way to record action steps that are taken. Now, that pretty much comes to the end of my demo on my side, and I look forward to some of the questions you might have relating to the platform. But as you saw, the power really lies in the combination between the device and the platform and working together to be able to potentially stop theft as soon as it happens. So recovery teams can have a higher success rate. It's a practical and proven approach that's already making a difference on fleets on the ground. Graham, I'm going to hand over to you, mate, for your part of the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Irvin, and good day to everybody, and thanks for joining. My name is Graham Armitage, and I'm the Managing Director of Access FMS. We've proudly been serving the fleet management industry for the past 18 years, and over that time, we've built a reputation for delivering smart, secure, and scalable solutions tailored to the unique demands of our clients. For more than a decade, we've partnered with 3Dtracking as our platform provider, which is behind every tracking device we deploy. Our long-standing collaboration ensures our clients benefit from a world-class reliability, precision, and scalability across their operations. So as we've been chatting, vehicle theft remains a serious challenge in South Africa. So for many years, we've been looking to increase our recovery rate as a company, like most, but it has been very difficult and challenging. And with the use of jamming devices added to the equation, this has only been amplified. So for this reason, we have recently decided to partner with NatureLink as a solution to help prevent vehicles from being stolen. So personally, what we love about the product is the Bluetooth relay feature. It has been a very exciting add-on for the business, and being small, not only with installation, but the time for the installation has been cut in half. Furthermore, the jamming detection feature has been a huge game changer and works like a charm. This feature has assisted us with many clients, especially with high-risk vehicles, such as the Toyota Hilux, as we've all been mentioned. We have run extensive tests internally as well as in field with clients, and this has been very successful. Over and above the anti-theft features, the product's tracking performance has also been very impressive. And as of now, we are very satisfied. It is easy to program, and the backup support from Mine and his team has been very refreshing. So if you're looking for a solution, I would strongly suggest getting in touch with Mine. And from a platform perspective, certainly get in touch with the guys at 3D. Thanks.
We'll now open the floor for questions. I know some have come in. If you're wanting to ask anything, please drop yours in the Q&A channel, and our panelists will take a look. We have received some questions prior to the webinar, so we'll just kick off with those. One that did come through, probably aimed at more at Ivan, is if a fleet operates across borders, will theft alerts still work in other countries or areas with poor connectivity?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, considering we recently launched an alert called a cross-border alert, or a border crossing alert. And what this does is that you can define certain boundaries, both country boundaries and provincial boundaries. And immediately when a vehicle crosses those boundaries, an alert can be triggered. Of course, in order for the alerts to trigger, the device must have connectivity. So if your vehicle is going through cross borders or across borders, you do need to ensure that your carrier supports roaming in order for you to still get connectivity as you go from one country to the other. But of course, a large variety of devices are available out there that do support satellite connectivity. But the easiest solution would be to ensure that your carrier supports roaming. But absolutely, the border crossing alert and all our alerts can be triggered even as you go across borders in different countries. I also see another one here, Amy. I don't know if I can jump right into that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is from Rian. And this is related to does the device check to see if the connection is available, and if it stops for a certain time getting a connection, does it see that as a jamming, and what happens in areas where bad reception happens? Right. Now I see Mine has already highlighted the fact that if there is a jamming, or if the device or a jamming device is used, the alert won't trigger. But as a safety measure on our platform, we have what's called a data interval alert. And this data interval alert you can configure to set an amount of time where if the device does not communicate with the platform, an alert is immediately triggered. So that would be essentially how you could pick up if a device has been offline for too long. You can set a data interval report and say maybe set it to an hour, and say if the device has not communicated for over an hour, which I know is probably not a great example, because in an hour most vehicles have been stripped to literally the shell. But if you were to set that device or data interval alert, you can immediately see or get an alert, a notification, if your device isn't communicating. So those are some of the tools you can use in combination with the jamming alert. So I don't know if that answers your question, Rihanna. I see another one from Kareem that says, what about if a truck driver is on the hijacking, providing information to the hijackers on the device in the vehicle? That's an interesting one. And I think this is where, I don't know, do you want to take this one, Graham? I know you had some good examples around the power of the Bluetooth relay.
Yeah, Irvin. So it's a great question. We get a lot of clients asking that exact question, and for starters, I mean, from our perspective, we're very discreet as to where we actually install the device for starters. So that is something that isn't made aware, or that the drivers or operators of the trucks actually have no idea where we actually install. That's paramount, I think, with most tracking systems. But I'm just quickly reading here. Yeah, I think from my side, that's really where we'd be on that. It's all really from installation.
And I guess that Bluetooth relay also plays an additional layer of, or adds an additional layer of complexity to someone trying to steal the vehicle, because they can get to the device, but perhaps they might not know where this Bluetooth relay is. And in the absence of the device, then that Bluetooth relay can kick in.
100%. And we've also set up, I mean, through the platform, we've set up the sort of abilities to do a remote switch off with the device as well. We've tested that in-house. And I mean, I know Toyota Hiluxes are high up on the list. I mean, I personally drive one myself, so it's a bit counterintuitive to what we do. But being a popular vehicle, like I mentioned when we spoke, I've physically tested it rigorously in-house. And the device just works so well. Can't fault the product. So yeah.
Thanks, Graham. Thanks. I see another question here from Azim. What happens in an emergency situation whereby a driver's Bluetooth device is missing and needs to escape danger by driving away? So again, like I think when mine mentioned that in the vehicle, there is an acknowledge button. So it's not to say when the Bluetooth device is not present in the vehicle, then the vehicle cannot be driven. You can still drive the vehicle. It's just that in order to neutralize the alarm or cancel the alert, you would need to press the acknowledge button. So in a situation like that, the driver of the vehicle can still drive away with the vehicle, even if in the absence of a Bluetooth beacon. And then I think this one's for you, mine, from Coben. It says, what is the additional cost of the device to pick up jamming or hijackings?
Thank you, Evan, for this question. For this feature, for the jamming and hijacking, these two features are already building the device firmware. It doesn't need to require additional costs. We can share you the cost after the meeting by email for the whole solution.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, thanks, mine. And there's one from Anonymous that says, what is the hijack alarm? Do we need separate equipment for that? No. So the hijack alarm on the platform is a notification that you set up. All it does is, as soon as an event is triggered by the device, it sends an alert to the platform. And you can call that alarm or alert anything you'd like. If in your scenario, you call it perhaps high risk alarm or a hijack attempt, you can, the power of the 3D tracking platform is that it's highly customizable. So these alerts can be called and named whatever you like. So no separate equipment needed for that. You just purely go on the platform, configure the event or input, and then you define what that alert is then called. So no need for additional information. And then I see another question coming in here that says, upon detection of a jamming attempt, is the immobilization feature automatically activated? I think this one's for you, mine.
Thank you, Irvin. Yes, as I mentioned in my presentation, upon detection of the jamming, it will trigger the buzzer first. And if there is no press button from the driver, the immobilization will be activated automatically through the wireless Bluetooth relay. Yes, you are right. But the buzzer will come first, and then if there is no confirmation, acknowledge button from the driver, you will trigger the immobilization. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Another one from Azim here says, in areas where network connection is unstable, can the device save events and give a report later?
Yes. Yes, because the device has an internal memory, it will be able to save the buffer. When the network recovers, you will send the events to the server afterwards.
Yeah, and that's correct. Even on our platform, if all those buffered events that are taking place while the vehicle is offline will immediately be updated onto our platform, and you can see all the events and all the trip points as they happened while the device was offline. So that is definitely a feature that's available on our platform. And then I think this is likely to be the last one, if that's okay, Amy, that can that hijack alert be used with any device or only the NatureLink device? Yeah, so on our platform, we are a device agnostic platform. We support a wide variety of devices, including this new great NL05. But yeah, the alerts or inputs can be set up through a wide range of devices. But of course, for this new NL05, it works so well because of the way all the events are set up and how, like as mine described, the pre-warnings and the actual warning hijack alerts as they happen. But to answer your question, no, it's not only restricted to this particular device.
Just in closing, sorry, Ivan.
Yeah. No,
just
go
in
ahead, Amy.
close-
Sorry, go ahead.
Just in closing from us, as a thank you for everyone who's joined us, we're also excited to offer you a chance to win with NatureLink and 3D tracking. So we're offering a 7-day free trial of the 3D tracking platform with the NatureLink device to 5 winners, who will be chosen at random from anyone who completes the competition form. And we'll be sending this out via email this week. So keep an eye on your inbox. This will allow you to get a real feeling of how the device and the platform fit together for the benefit of your business. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks again, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grant.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Jackie.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Irvin. Bye-bye.